All right, so we have some news. All my Sony fans, yes, I'm rocking a professional mic. I'm leveling up the channel a bit. But today's video, we're talking about the A7C II. The A7C was a value camera that many people loved and were waiting on a refresh from it. And it's said that in the next month or two, according to Sony Alpha Rumors, that we are going to be getting a successor or maybe even two successors to the A7C camera. So as of now, there are talks of two different models. So number one would be a direct successor to the A7C. It would be more of a hybrid model, good for video and good for photography. And then they're also talking about maybe like a baby A7R5, so a 60 megapixel sensor in that full frame, more budget friendly camera. Both these cameras could be a really good second or B cam to your existing Sony A cam. Or if you're just a casual shooter and you're looking for one good, solid, full frame performer, this could certainly do the trick. Sony's marketing is pretty interesting of late, and what they're doing is they're taking the previous sensors of their existing models and then putting them in newer cameras. So we just saw this with the A6700, and that matches the same sensor as the FX30, but then also offers more hybrid features. And with the A7C II, we could see the same thing. So we would see that full frame sensor from potentially the A7IV, which we're shooting on right now, put into the A7C II. That would be like the hybrid model. And then we'd see a 60 megapixel photography based full frame camera and maybe the sensor out of the A7R5. Andre Pizzini from Sony Alpha Rumors was mentioning that maybe Sony A7IV users like myself would be upset because we know Sony is pretty terrible at upgrading their older cameras. I got this camera when it was launched, and I'm assuming that I'm not going to get any of the newer features that the A7C II will come out with in the next 2 months. If you're finding value in this video, it goes a really long way if you could just leave a like. 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much, and let's dive back in. As a Sony A7IV user, I'm not too upset that the A7C II is going to have the same sensor in a camera that might potentially be the same price or even a little bit cheaper because it is not the A7IV. It's a new camera. And what I mean by that is oftentimes these Sony lower end cameras that have the same sensors as like the bigger brother also have like cramped ergonomics and not as much customization in terms of dials and things like that. Another reason as a Sony A7IV user that I won't be like too upset is I love the idea to redundantly record all of my professional shoots, whether it's a wedding or commercial video. I find it super necessary for peace of mind if nothing else, but I have had 2 SD cards fail on me in like the last 8 years, and I don't want to see that happen again, especially on a professional shoot. And I foresee the A7C II, both of these lines, having only one SD card slot. This is just a thought or a wish list item, and I haven't seen rumors of this anywhere, but we did just see the A6700 come out with like that front scroll dial, and I think potentially that would be really good on the A7C II as well. So just a thought. It would be amazing if the A7C II fixed some of the problems with the A7IV, but I don't fully see the body having better heat dissipation. I also think the rolling shutter will be kind of the same. And then I don't know about the 4K 60 crop. They might eliminate that for some users, and that would be a welcome addition for the A7C II. Now, in terms of the A7C II, the R or the photo-centric version of this camera, there are some rumors that potentially it could have internal storage, which I think would be a cool direction for Sony, though I don't foresee it happening this year. But I do think it would be cool to see a photography focused full frame camera that's a little bit cheaper than the R series of Sony mirrorless cameras. For me, I'm in need of a B camera, and I do take price into consideration when I buy these camera bodies because the bodies don't seem to be upgraded too much. So for me, a second B cam, like I don't think I'm going to be waiting for the A7C II. I think I'm probably going to pick up the A6700 because for me, yes, I know it's APS-C. I know there's downsides to not having a full frame camera sensor, but I do like the sensor for video that's in the A6700. I do like that it's now a hybrid because the FX30 was an amazing camera, but I really like having a viewfinder in my camera, and the heat dissipation is actually really good on the 6700 to the point where 4K 24 looks to be no overheating issues, and I'd love to be able to just set that up at a wedding ceremony as like a second B cam to my A7IV and go with that. But who knows, maybe I'll end up eating my words once the A7C II comes out. We'll just have to wait and see what features truly come out in that camera. Just a reminder that gear is not everything. Just go out, use what you have, and shoot. All these rumors and everything, it's something that I do anyways in terms of research, so I thought it would be helpful on the channel to give a direction or maybe some advice to some people out there. And lastly, each camera you purchase should be based on your needs, so know your needs first. Is it photography? Is it video? Can you get by with the hybrid features? And then you need to make your decision on which camera is best for you. That wraps it up for today. We'll see you in the next video. Maddie out. Peace. Thank you for being here.